Here's something that will change the way you read every interaction from this moment forward. A woman will almost never, and I mean almost never, look you in the eyes and say the words, "Kiss me." But right before she wanted you to, her body screamed it loudly, repeatedly, and you probably walked away thinking she wasn't interested. That moment you fumbled, it wasn't bad luck. It was illiteracy, body illiteracy. And today I'm handing you the dictionary. Okay, so let me set the stage with something that's going to sting a little, but I promise it's necessary. According to a study published in the journal Psychological Science, over 80% of romantic signals between two people are communicated non-verbally. 80%. That means the words coming out of someone's mouth account for barely a fifth of what's actually being said. So, if you've been waiting for a woman to verbally greenlight the kiss, you've essentially been trying to read a book while ignoring 80% of the pages, and then wondering why the story doesn't make sense. Now, here's the part that makes this even more frustrating. Dr. Monica Moore, a psychologist at Webster University, conducted a landmark study where she observed over 200 women in social settings like bars, restaurants, and parties. She cataloged over 52 distinct nonverbal signals women use to express attraction. 52. That's more signals than most TV remotes have buttons, and the majority of men in those same environments, they missed most of them. Not because they were blind, but because nobody ever taught them what to look for. And that's what this video is actually about. I'm not here to give you some pickup artist nonsense or manipulative tactics. I'm here as a woman telling you exactly what we do when we want to be kissed, but we'll never ever say it out loud, because most of us won't. Not because we don't want it, but because the vulnerability of saying those words feels like standing on a stage naked in front of a stadium. We'd rather hint, we'd rather signal, we'd rather adjust our hair for the 14th time and hope you finally get the message. But here's the thing, and this is the part that should keep you watching until the very end. These 6 signs I'm about to break down aren't just nice to know. Sign number 4 on this list is the one that women do within the final 30 seconds before a kiss either happens or dies forever. Most men have no idea it even exists. And once I explain it, you'll probably remember a moment where it happened to you and you completely blanked on it. That memory is going to hit you like a truck. Fair warning. So stay with me because by the end of this, you're going to see women completely differently. Not in a creepy way, in an aware way, in an "oh my god, she was literally begging me to make a move" kind of way. Let's get into it. The first sign is something I call the proximity collapse. And no, it's not some military operation. It's far more dangerous. When a woman is interested in being kissed, she will systematically and sometimes unconsciously destroy the physical distance between the two of you. Not all at once. That would be weird. She does it inch by inch, step by step, lean by lean. And if you're not paying attention, you won't even realize that the woman who started the conversation 3 feet away from you is now close enough for you to smell her perfume and feel the warmth of her breath. There's actually science behind this. Anthropologist Edward T. Hall developed the concept of proxemics, which is the study of how humans use personal space. He identified 4 distance zones: public, social, personal, and intimate. The intimate zone is anything closer than 18 in. When a woman voluntarily moves into that zone and stays there, she's not confused about spatial awareness. She's not lost. She knows exactly where she is. She chose to be there. Here's the detail most people miss, though. It's not just about how close she gets. It's about how she reacts when you move closer. If you lean in slightly and she doesn't pull back, that's not neutrality. That's permission. If you lean in and she mirrors it by leaning in too, that's not permission. That's an invitation written in bold, with 3 exclamation marks. I had a friend, let's call her Sarah, who told me about a date where she literally positioned herself so close to this guy on a park bench that their knees were touching. She kept adjusting her position to be closer, and this man, this sweet, oblivious man, actually scooted over to give her more room. She went home and ate ice cream straight from the container. True story, don't be that guy. Sign number 2 is what I call the lip ritual, and it's probably the most well-known signal on this list. But here's why most people still get it wrong. They only know half of it. Yes, when a woman licks her lips, bites her lower lip, or applies lip balm or gloss while talking to you, those can all be indicators of attraction. A study from the Kinsey Institute found that lip-focused behaviors increase significantly during moments of heightened romantic or sexual interest. The body is literally preparing the lips for contact. It's biological, subconscious, almost involuntary. But here's the half most people don't know. The real signal isn't what she does with her lips. It's where she looks while she does it. If she licks her lips while looking at your lips, that's not a coincidence. That's a GPS coordinate. She is telling you without a single word exactly where she wants your attention and eventually your mouth to go. Researchers at the University of Kansas found that when someone's gaze repeatedly drops to another person's lips during a conversation, the probability of physical attraction being present jumps to over 90%. 90%. That's not ambiguity. That's a flashing neon sign in a language you apparently don't speak yet. And there's another layer to this that blew my mind when I first learned about it. When a woman touches her own lips, like resting a finger on her lower lip or tracing her lip line absent-mindedly while listening to you talk, that's a self-soothing gesture linked to the activation of the parasympathetic nervous system under romantic stimulation. In plain English, her body is so excited that it's trying to calm itself down by touching one of its most sensitive areas. She's not bored. She's overwhelmed by you. So, the next time you're talking to a woman and she's doing anything at all with her lips while looking at yours, understand this. The conversation happening above the surface is about where to eat dinner. The conversation happening below the surface is about something else entirely. Sign number 3. I call this one the hair symphony. And honestly, it's the one women are most guilty of doing without even realizing it. When a woman repeatedly touches, twirls, flips, or adjusts her hair while interacting with you, something is happening neurologically that she might not even be aware of. According to Dr. David Given, author of Love Signals, a practical field guide to the body language of courtship, hair manipulation is one of the oldest and most universal female courtship signals in human history. It traces back thousands of years. It exists across cultures, and it serves a dual purpose. It's both a self-grooming behavior, meaning she wants to look good for you, and an attention-directing behavior, meaning she's subconsciously drawing your eyes to her face and neck. And here's the kicker. When a woman sweeps her hair to one side, exposing her neck, that's not a random hairstyle adjustment. The neck is one of the most vulnerable parts of the human body. Exposing it is a primal signal of trust and openness. She's literally showing you a part of her body that evolution trained her to protect, and she's doing it while looking at you. If that doesn't translate to, I feel safe with you and I want you closer, then I don't know what does. I'll tell you what makes this sign even more telling. Frequency. If she touches her hair once, maybe it was just in her face. If she touches her hair 5, 6, 7 times during a single conversation with you, that's not a hair problem. That's a you problem, meaning you are the cause. Her nervous system is firing, her attraction is spiking, and her hands are going to her hair because they need somewhere to go that isn't your face. Pay attention to the symphony. Every movement is a note, and together they compose something very specific. Now sign number 4. This is the one I warned you about at the beginning. The one most men have never heard of, and the one that once you recognize it will haunt your memories. I call it the stillness before the storm. In the moments right before a woman is ready to be kissed, those final 20 to 30 seconds, something strange happens. She gets quiet. Not awkward quiet, not, I want to leave quiet. A different kind of quiet. A loaded silence. Her movements slow down. Her blinking slows. Her voice, if she's still talking, drops lower and softer, and she holds eye contact just a beat longer than normal. This phenomenon is actually well documented in psychophysiology. When the human body anticipates a high arousal event, a kiss, a first touch, a moment of physical intimacy, the nervous system shifts from sympathetic activation, which is your alert, energetic state, to a brief parasympathetic pause. Think of it as the body's way of bracing for impact. Everything slows, everything stills. The world narrows to just the two of you. Dr. Arthur Aron, the psychologist famous for the 36 questions that lead to love experiment, noted that mutual silent eye contact lasting more than 4 seconds without discomfort is one of the strongest predictors of deep emotional and physical connection. 4 seconds. That's it. If she's holding your gaze in that still, quiet moment, without looking away, without laughing nervously, without breaking the tension, she's not waiting for you to say something clever. She's waiting for you to close the gap. And this is where so many men crash and burn because the silence feels heavy, it feels loaded. And instead of recognizing it as the green light that it is, they panic, they crack a joke, they look at their phone, they say something random about the weather. And just like that, the moment shatters. She snaps out of it, the window closes, and she internally files that under almost. If you've ever had a moment with a woman where everything went quiet and electric and you didn't act, now you know what that was. It was sign 4, and it was the final boarding call for a flight you didn't get on. Sign number 5 is called the mirroring effect.